How long have you been a priest?
39 years. It'll be 40 years this May. I was ordained 40 years ago this May.
And all of that has been serving the south side of Chicago?
Yes. Actually, at this church, I spent 1 year as a deacon over at OLPH Church in Glenview. And when I was in the seminary and in graduate school, I lived on the west side of the church called Precious Blood of Congress and Western. Then a year at as a deacon in Glenview, spent a year and a half as chaplain at the county jail while I was in seminary, and then been here for the last 39 years.
So how many parishioners normally come to the service every Sunday?
Well, between the three services, a little over 2,000 that are here between the three services.
And how many people do you think you reach between all the different outreach programs that are from
here? I mean, hundreds of thousands. I mean, we have 35,000 a year go through our food pantry, through our employment program, our youth center. So there's, and then, through our services here are streamed live every Sunday. And we have people all around the world that listen to it from 25 different countries. And it's used in the prison systems in the West Coast. So, it's a lot of folks through our programs here in terms of hands-on ministry, and then through the internet, I mean, another whole thousands of people.
So do you feel like having a church like this, where it's a safe place to go, that helps keep kids and teens away from violence and joining gangs?
I think the church has to be. I mean, that's why we started our whole Peacemaker program here. The purpose of that program was to reach out to brothers on the street and love them, respect them, give them options. 95% of the brothers on the street just ask for an option. Give me a job. Give me some things to do. Give me an education. So we've had a couple hundred go through our GED classes. This summer, we hired over 1,000 young people for the summer program. We hired 4 guys from gangs that work for us full time in peacemaking in the street. So there's a lot of programs that we've offered, and we've seen the violence in this community drop 85%.
So do you feel that by reaching out to those people that otherwise might be forgotten about, that's why?
Yeah, well, they feel forgotten. They have been forgotten. They've been thrown away by society. They've been demonized as just gang members and just thrown to the side. And we're saying, these are our brothers, these are our sons, these are our family. That nobody gets thrown away. When we go down to Lower Wacker and care for the people there throughout the year, our job is to reach out and care for any. The gospel calls us, whether you're Jewish and reading the Torah, whether you're Muslim and reading the Quran, or whether you're a Christian reading the Bible, all the holy books call the same thing: to care for the least.
Do you feel that racial inequality might play a part in why the south side of Chicago has struggled so much with violence?
I think it might have. Absolutely. Racism is in the DNA of America. There's no question about it. Until we have the courage to face racism head on and unravel it and eradicate it, we're going to continue to see unemployment. We're going to continue to see bad schools. We're going to continue to see violence. We're going to continue to see racial profiling and a broken justice system. Yeah, we've got to deal with race in America.
So do you feel that the city of Chicago, that might be a reason why they treat the south side differently by closing a lot of the
schools?
Well,
I think that Chicago and I think the state of Illinois and I think the federal government are all a reflection of the way America thinks. It's the haves and the have-nots, the 1% and the 99%.
So you feel it's not just the government, it's just the whole country as a whole that we need to change?
Yeah, it's America. We got to dismantle this racial divide in America. It's in corporate, it's in government, it's in church. It's everywhere. And until we have the courage to dismantle it, it continues to be the MO of American life.
Do you feel that the violence that's prevalent like TV and music nowadays, do you think that might have an effect on why so many people might turn to gangs and violence?
I don't think that's why people, I think it feeds it though. If 3 of us are walking down the street and you keep just talking about what violent things you want to do, it has an influence on me. That doesn't make me do it. I still have free choice. But I think it feeds it. It creates the atmosphere for it. It creates a mentality. It makes it more acceptable. It makes it more okay. So yes, the music, the TV, the violence, the degrading of women, the sexual, mentality that lives in America today. You know, the media has a great amount of influence. But we have to be strong enough not only to confront the media, to not allow it to get into our system, but also, I think, to change it.
Do you feel like that African Americans in the city of Chicago are given the same opportunities to succeed as people who
No,
aren't African American?
no, no. If American unemployment is 5.9% and unemployment in this area is 34%, don't we have the same chance?
No.
No. If some of the poorest schools in this city, as around in every major city in the country, are in the neighborhoods where there's the most violence, you create the perfect storm. No options, no economic development, poor schools, high unemployment, and we're surprised there's violence in those areas? I'm not.
So, what do you feel is one of the major things that could be done to help reduce the violence and revitalize the neighborhoods?
Well, I think it's a list. It's not any one thing. There's no one single thing we can do. I think we've got to demand jobs. If American unemployment is 5.9%, that should be everywhere. Good schools should be everywhere. We know how to do good schools. We do Whitney Young. Well, every school should be Whitney Young then. You know, and we've got to create options, economic development, resources for communities. So, you know, if we equal the playing field and we love our young people instead of demonizing them, we'll change it. I have no question we can stop the violence. It's not a if we can, it's whether we want to.
So, even though there's a prevalence of violence in the neighborhood, what do you feel like would be the best way to help get guns off the street? And
Well, with the gun issue, it's you know, responsibility. I've been screaming for 15 years, title a gun like a car. If I have a car and I give it to you and I don't transfer title and you're in an accident, they're going to come for me. It's still my car. Well, it's the same thing with guns. So the people that are going to gun shops and gun shows and buying, you know, 15 and 20 and 50 and 100 guns and selling them on the street, have them have 100 titles. And they sell those guns on the street and don't transfer a title.
With the gun
Then they're going-
violence, it almost seems people are just because you have hunters who want to keep their guns,
That's fine.
but like you said, they're selling assault rifles just at a gun shop.
Hunters don't use assault weapons.
My cousin hunts and he just uses a rifle, bolt
Mhm.
action. That's all you need.
Right.
But they're selling all these submachine guns
Yeah.
and stuff on the market.
Why? Why are we allowing that as a country? Except let me tell you something. When somebody from the NRA told me a long time ago, it's all about money. It's all about money. You know, so as long as gun manufacturers can make money, and then they're the ones that pay the gun lobbyists, the NRA, and so you cut off that resource. You know, what does Snoop say? Was it Snoop said all about the Benjamin? I mean, that's what it's about, man. It's all. It's about money. Money runs this country. So all we want people to do is be responsible. So your family that hunts or anybody else that hunts, fine. Just be responsible. Stop selling guns on the street. Make people accountable for their guns.
Okay.
All right?
Do you think that's it?
That's